Hey guys, and welcome to a CSS tutorial part 12. In this tutorial we're going to be learning about adding opacity onto the pictures and adding less opacity when we hover onto the image. So what is opacity in CSS? Opacity is when you make the image more transparent. The opacity property has a value from 0.0 to 1.0 by making 1.0 the default opacity for the picture. So I got an example right here. So that's an opacity of 0.2, opacity of 0.5, and the default is 1, which is the default opacity. So let's go on to Sublime Text. So here we are on CSS, and let's go through the first bit. So I haven't got a picture yet, so we could go on Google and then search up just a sample image. Then here we could go on here, just take the first one, I guess. I don't really mind which one it is. I'm just gonna save it in the same folder, so just make it a JPEG file and just name it image, just to make it simple, and the file name is GFIF. So if I just go on here, go onto the HTML and then type in image, just write image. Then here for the source, just write image dot j, or the file name, and then right there. So if you just save that, then go on here, then the image should appear. So right there. So it isn't a really big image, so that's fine. That's the perfect size that we want. So so let's get out of that. So the main tutorial in this video is just to change the opacity. So if we just go on here on the CSS file, and then we could go here, then just write image right there. So we don't need a class as we only have one image. So if you want to change the opacity, so change the opacity, just write opacity. That's it. As simple. Then we could just write let's do an opacity of 0.5 right there. So we just save that. Then if we go on that right there, and then so as you can see, it's a lot more transparent right there. So if we just do 0.7 maybe, see what that does. So just save that, go on there, index, then here it will be less transparent. So and then if we do 1, that would be the default transparency right there. So so that would be it right there. What if we do like more? So if we do like 1.5 maybe, will that make it darker? Nah, it doesn't make a difference. So so you can't go anywhere till 1. So it's either 0 to 1. So we could do like 0.1 maybe. Save that. Go on that, and then you can barely see it. So right there. So that's opacity. That's is a very simple bit right there. So all you need is an image, then a property of opacity, then write the number you want from 0.0 to 1.0. So as well as we could, whenever we hover on the image, we could either make it less transparent or more transparent. So here we could just do like a transparency of 0.8, and then here if we're gonna go down one, and then if we do image, then do colon, then hover right there, then do that. So image dot hover, and then here we can write opacity of 1. So let's actually change it to opacity of 0.5, so then we could actually see the difference. So we go on the website right here, and then whenever we hover onto it, it'll make it darker, or it'll go to the opacity of 1. So so that's really useful. So we could do the opposite as well. So let's go on 1 for the image, normal image. Then whenever we hover onto it, it'll go back to 0.5 right there. So if we just save that, then go into the CSS course right there, then whenever we hover onto it, it'll be more transparent right there. So so you could mess around with the opacity right there, so to see whatever you like. So let's go on to the CSS questions. So here are the CSS questions right here. So for number 1, what is opacity? Number 2, what are the certain values we can use? What is something we have learned new other than opacity? So they'll be in just an easy, medium questions. So I'll give you a few seconds. So hopefully you've answered all those questions. So let's go on to the answers. So if you haven't, just pause the video before we go on to the answers. So for number 1, the answer was opacity is when you can make the image more transparent. Number 2, anywhere between 0.0 to 1. And then number 3, when hovering over the image is more or less transparent. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like for more tutorials like these in the future. Thank you.